More than 4 months of sleeping on the floor with 15 men in a small airport room, one Russian man waits to hear his fate. Hiding his identity for fear of repercussions, he's applying for asylum in South Korea, having fled a mandatory call-up in Russia last October to fight in the war in Ukraine.
When I heard about the mobilization, I felt terrible because I'd been at rallies protesting against the war. I knew based on the information they have on me, anyone who opposes the war would be first to be sent to the front lines. That was my biggest fear.
President Vladimir Putin's mass call-up sparked an exodus from the country. Hundreds of thousands of men are believed to have fled to avoid being sent to Ukraine. Leaving his wife and 7-year-old son, he boarded a flight to South Korea, saying he believed he would be accepted as it is a democratic country.
I miss my boy really badly. I can't talk about it. It's too emotional. I really miss my family.
He would wash his laundry in an Incheon airport bathroom, saying there was no hot water for showers for the past month, despite Seoul immigration saying there should be. He was given a hot bun and juice for lunch, chicken and rice for dinner. While he feels powerless to control his future, he says the alternative would be far worse.
What would your message be to the people who are deciding if you can stay?
I'm not a draft dodger. I'm against the war, and I don't want to go to war and kill people, but I am not a draft dodger.
An important point to make, he feels, as South Korea has mandatory military service of its own, of at least 18 months for almost all able-bodied men, most by the age of 28.
Do you consider yourself a victim of this war?
Of course. A year ago, I had no intention of leaving and never thought I'd leave Russia.
What he didn't realise before boarding a plane to Seoul, he says, is how few refugees this country accepts. In 2019, of almost 15,500 applicants, just 79 were granted refugee status. That's half of 1%. With just 230 receiving a permit to stay on humanitarian grounds. He was moved this week to an immigration facility with some freedom of movement to await his fate. The Justice Ministry said this week it is appealing the decision to even allow him to apply for asylum. He says he is surprised and disappointed by that decision, and his lawyer says that process alone could take up to 5 months. Then applying for refugee status could take another 1 or 2 years. And his lawyer says, based on precedents, success is not going to be easy. Paula Hancocks, CNN Seoul.